What's up, peeps? This is Todd and welcome back to my show. I wanted to do a quick video talking about how I have made over $730,000 in free money through real estate. If that sounds good, let's hop into the video. Now, before I jump right in, look right here for me real quick. This is an article that was written about me that I can't even read because it's behind a paywall. Like, I can't even read an article that was written about me because it wants me to pay money. And as you guys know, I am way too cheap to pay any money to read any sort of article, especially when it's about me because I already know what the article is going to say. But I don't want to get sidetracked here, so let's jump into exactly how I've gotten over $700,000 in free money. Now, when I talk about free money, I'm specifically talking about equity in the appreciation that has come from zero alterations. For example, what I mean by that is the difference in what I bought my houses for versus what they're worth today with no work being done to the houses whatsoever. Now, although some of my critics might say that I haven't actually made this yet because you don't technically make it until you sell the houses, that's when you actually realize the cash, I would counter that by saying, although I don't have this in cash, I have it in equity. That means it's going to my financial statement. And on my assets and liabilities column, this extra equity definitely is in my asset column, which helps out a ton when I go to leverage more properties to buy the apartment buildings that I'm looking for, or even just single family homes. So the first house hack that I ever bought, I bought it in 2015 for $506,000. I bought it owner occupied with the first time home buyer program, and I put $19,000 down. 2 years later, I had that house appraised, and it appraised for $186,000 more than what I paid for it. But today, it's worth even more than that, at a total valuation of $696,688 for a net increase of $190,688 in free money without me having to do any bit of work. Now, another thing to look at is this rent estimate over here. This is basically what they're thinking that I could rent it for, what the market rent would be if I was going to lease this home out to a family. But of course, I house hacked. So instead of getting $2,800 per month, I'm getting over $5,800 per month. Literally over $3,000 more every single month just because I house hacked. Now, to keep these summaries fair, I'm going to be switching between Zillow and Redfin as far as what the homes are currently estimated in. I have had them appraised as well, but I don't want to make this video so long that I'm going through every page of the appraisal. And by the way, if there are any doubts on if I actually own these houses or not, when you buy real estate and you claim to own real estate, unlike Shopify or Amazon FBA or any of these other things that people are talking about, any one of you guys can go verify the real estate that I have because it's all public record. If you just Google me and you look up houses that I own, you can find this information pretty readily. So the second house that I bought was in September of 2016, and I bought it for $545,000, and I had to put $120,000 down. This house is now valued at $747,000 for a net increase of $222,000 in free equity because, again, I made no alterations to this house. I just bought real estate and I waited. Now, of course, this is another house hack, so I'm getting well above market rents for this one as well. The third house that I bought was in February of 2017. I bought this house again, owner occupied. I bought it at $545,000, and this time I put $65,000 down. The current value of the home is just over $685,000 for a net increase of $140,000 in free equity. My fourth property I bought owner occupied, and I put $65,000 down on this house as well. I bought this property for $634,000. The current value is just over $712,000. So that means that I have gained $78,000 in free equity. Now, again, this of course is another house hack. So instead of getting market rent for it, I'm getting just under $8,000 per month in rent, and $4,000 of that is pure cash flow. The fifth house that I bought was in March of 2018. I bought this property for $765,000, and I had to put $150,000 down. This property was really cool because it also had a mother-in-law apartment, and that's what I first had on Airbnb. That was my first introduction to Airbnb, and it was incredible. The current value of this home is over $819,000, meaning that I have made just over $54,000 in equity. Now, my sixth and final house is the duplex that I am in right now. It is the duplex that was featured on CNBC Make It. I live in this half with a couple of roommates, and I lease out the other half, and I also converted one of the garage spaces downstairs into a studio. I bought this property for $900,000, and I had to put 15% down. Today, not even a year later, this same duplex is worth worth $955,000. So I've had a $55,000 positive increase in value in this home. So if you look at the first house I bought in December of 2015 to the last house that I bought in August of 2019, you can see that in just over 5 years, I've realized over $738,000 in appreciation. Now again, this is not money that I've had to work for. This is not money that I even really earned, because we didn't do any alterations to the houses except for converting this garage into a studio apartment. Well, that's basically it for this video. If you like this content, make sure to leave a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.